Hello and welcome. I hope you all staying safe and healthy. How is everybody?
Good, how about you?
Thank you so much. So you can hear me and I can hear you. Thank you so much. So what we are going to do today, basically I will answer the questions. I already collected some questions, and then I will demonstrate for the SPSS, okay? So that is the agenda for this lecture. Last session, we talked about chapter 11, hypothesis test. For example, there is a statement saying the average age at Ryerson University is 23 years old. So you can write down H0, 23, mu equal to 23, and alternative mu is not 23. And we use 5 steps to draw conclusion. Do we reject or do not reject H0, okay? For making the decisions, you need to compare test statistic. It is just a formula, either Z formula or T formula. Compare test statistic with the critical values. Those are commonly used critical value for Z test, okay? If you have 90%, when you have 90%, it is the same as in hypothesis test. Most often we use alpha. Alpha is 0.1, okay? The question would ask you to test the hypothesis at 0.1 level of significance, okay? So if you have alpha 0.1, critical value negative 1.645 and positive 1.645. And if you have alpha 0.05, that is the same as 95% confidence interval. And the critical value negative 1.96, positive 1.96. And the other most used one is alpha 0.01. Okay, so test the hypothesis at 0.01 level of significance. You have critical value negative 2.56 and positive 2.56. Okay, so that is what we ended up from last session. And this session, I will have one common question I already wrote down. The question is, how do you determine it is H0 versus H1? Okay, this is a good question. So I will start off this question. H0 always connected with equal sign or smaller equal or greater equal. Okay, so the only distinguish between H0 and H1, you're looking at which symbol it used. H1 is connected with not equal, okay, greater and smaller. Because a hypothesis, you have to say both H0 and H1. So when you have H0 equal, H1 must use not equal. They are the pair. You have to match equal with not equal. And if H0 use smaller equal, H1 must use greater. They pair up together. Lastly, if H0 greater equal H1 smaller, you have to pair them together. Do not mess up, okay? And in specific questions, looking at the keyword, if the keyword said the average age, for example, is not equal to 23. See, this is not. The average age is not. And this not equal only connect with H1. H0 will never have not equal sign. Okay, so if the statement said the average age is not 23 years old, so H1 mu not equal to 23, it is like this situation here. H1 mu not equal to 23. Okay, so this is this one. If the statement said the average age at Ryerson University is older than 23 years old. I repeat, the statement said the average age at Ryerson University older than 23 years old. So older means greater. See, and this greater always connect with this H1. Okay, so your hypothesis would be your hypothesis in this situation. Okay, maybe right up here, H0 or H1. I will start with H1 because the statement said the average age older than 23. So mu older 23. Once you have H1 decide, H0 is the opposite of H1, and you have to look at those pairs. When H1 use greater, H0 must be used smaller equal. So mu smaller equal to 23. Okay, and some textbook, this is correct answer for the statement. The average age at Ryerson older than 23. Another expression could be H1 is still mu greater than 23. H1, some textbooks said mu equal to 23. It is still correct. Okay, it is still correct. Any questions about HO, H1? All right, so that is one question. I get H0, H1. And the other question, you can stop me to ask any questions. I go over, I have maybe 3 or 4 questions. You can jump in, okay? Not necessarily wait, I finish the questions. Okay. Okay, this question here. This is your module 3 question, okay? So.
Sorry, Professor?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry about that. Once you were to finish from whichever, from number 13, I presume you'll continue in it, but once you finish, is it okay if you can further explain or try, let's figure out how question 16 works, because I found some difficulty with question 16.
Absolutely, so I will go over questions 15. Which question, sorry, Fair?
16, 1-6.
16, thank you so much, sure.
No problem, thank you.
So this is, I don't know, this is 13, question 13, okay. So the question said, identify type 1 error, type 2 error that correspond to the given hypothesis. The statement said, the percentage of households with more than 1 pet is less than 65%. Okay. Before we go this question, we need to review what is type 1 error, what is type 2 error. Okay, so we are going to review this. Type 1 error and type 2 error targeting H0. Targeting H0. Do you believe H0 is a statement? Of course, it is a statement. And the result of H0 only have 2 results. Can anyone guess what are the 2 results of H0? What are the 2 results for H0? The result of H0 either true or false. Is that clear? it is either true or false, right? So this is H0. And now you have your decision. Your decision. So your decision. What can you do about H0? You can, oops, the computer sometimes